Ladies and gentlemen, today was not only crazy and all over the place, but something big happened. So I'm going to share that with you. It was a play we made and it screwed us over, but there's both intel all the way down to now some of the geopolitical stuff with the Iran sanctions having an effect or supposedly, and again, today was crazy with the news drops in the news that was going out. And honestly, we were trading live every day, you guys. We're live 30 minutes before open, Monday through Friday. The main channel, or the live streaming channel, is pinned in the comments. But the part was that we noticed today, the news was all over the place. There was stuff dropping, and it wouldn't get recirculated or wouldn't get picked up by some of the bigger sites or mainstream media till a certain time. And then there was the Sarah Sanders report. And this is what happened, to recap this and see what went on the day. And this is, we have the watch list again at 7 p.m. tonight. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. But why I'm bringing that up, because this is what I posted yesterday on it. 5:42, we said, know when not to shoot. The great cuckening is upon us. If it gaps down big, look for the run up. And I said, just be careful for really, this is what I meant by the great cuckening. And what we say by the cuck is nothing's going to happen, So somebody posted a good definition there. It's not what you think. But seeing that how it moved today, that's exactly what we got. So tomorrow is going to be very interesting. But what was so interesting was what caused it. Tomorrow is now the day before the deadline that Trump is going to raise tariffs. That has been the scope of what's inside the market. And that's why I'm saying what happened big today. I'm going to connect this with intel, and we're going to talk about the sanctions. But to see what happened here, the market opened again. To see yesterday, this is where we closed right there. We kind of opened at the same price spot, no really gap up or down, sold off a little bit, bounced up, sold off, and then it was doing this really it wasn't really looking good. Then all of a sudden, this popped. This popped very, very big, and it was on the report that Sarah Sanders just reiterated Trump's comments that the people from China are still coming to meet. And now if you were on stream, if someone could go on the stream and tag this was a really, really dope moment when it happened. Let me take off after hours. It was right here. So again, around 10:48, 10:49, and you guys could even see, I'll just overlay the SPY with this because this is where we started to see it happen. The VIX really just started getting killed. Where was it? Oh, so it was right there. So as you see, that's when it happened. But before all of this, the VIX was dropping before the market was there, but you can't really see it. But we were watching it real time. There was some VIX movements there, and this dropped, and we saw that pop. So if you guys go watch the stream, it was a really, really cool call out. We even had that on the stream alerts too. It was and it was surprising because I even saw that real time. I was like, wait, what's happening here? And then that developed, but then it dropped here on this report that the, what's it called? This one was that China now, they said a report, and again, it was like 12 a.m. in China at this point, but the trade or the commerce or transport minister, something like that in China said that they're going back on it or that they want to renegotiate, I believe. Let me get the exact quote. Yes, they said China will take necessary countermeasures against the United States and with the tariffs and the deadline. So that was kind of saying as a rebuttal, and it was kind of negative, and it dropped the markets. Things bounced. What caused this one? I forgot what. I think this was just kind of the bounce and follow-up. I think there was one more news article that came out or another pop. But again, what was so unique about today was the market was doing its thing, but it was getting jerked off of these news events. But it was when it got confirmed. Oh, that's where it was. That's when the news first came out, and then it didn't get that. There you go. This is what I meant was so weird today. The news first came out. And that wasn't, the market started dropping and you didn't see it published by CNBC or anything. Then it went up and then it started dropping when CNBC confirmed it. We even documented that within the stream alerts. Here, I'll actually show it right here. So you could see when it first came out, we were, like 20 or 30 minutes ahead when we said, hey, the news first came out. And then I even followed it up right before this even happened. I said, hey, watch out because news was coming on all sorts. People didn't know, and this was the issue. I said for the last 3 days, if I could put on a Google Doc and on the watch list, you guys go watch the last watch list. I was saying what was going to happen the day before. That's because I was that's falling in line with the normal digestion, or I guess I don't even think you could describe normal for this whole situation, but seeing how this started to move and then how people were trying to attribute reasons, it got really weird. And some reasons were big, like China saying what they did. I thought that was negative, and that's why I aimed towards puts at the end to close. And now this is where today gets interesting. The market stayed up from there. No real movement, no anything. We did see, and again, this was a play we made today too. We're still in it. We swung it, the workhorse. So we said we were going to swing this. Donald Trump tweeted about them. They got halted. They shot up, but we got in it very, very early. That was a pretty crazy play, so we're still holding that. But what I really want to get to is Intel. This is now, they were announcing, they had this conference. They announced that they're coming out with their new chip, and it was good. And I saw the volume and the pop on Intel. I said, this is pretty good. I sold out of the, because I had free puts. I sold out of them. There's Roku too. You guys got, that's after earnings. And we also had Disney too. If you guys want to even look at, this is the real time, the earnings as they reported today. But what happened here with Intel was, it was very, very fascinating because the chip, they said they're going to announce the chip and the market reacted positively, good volume, but then it's coming out later than expected. Then they issued new downside guidance. And now this is where it gets important and is related to everything today. This is a big drop on Intel, and you guys see that. But let me take you back a few days. That was a big drop on Intel. And why did it drop that big? Because there was the reports that they are cutting their guidance and future growth. So think about it. They effectively cut guidance twice. So they were dropping, the market might end up edging there with it, but Intel has a big effect. Someone dropped it in the chat, and they were totally right on it. Intel is a single-digit or double-digit earner. It's not, they make a good amount of money. It's not there for, like, crazy growth or anything, but they're huge. That's why we saw Apple and some of the other makers get just killed. Whoa, stamps. So that's dying on stamps. Okay. Well, there you have it. They already died twice. They were 2 quarters ago. They're at $190. So that's a stock market for you, and that's stamps.com. That's crazy. So again, this could all have an effect tomorrow, but now again, here's the thing I'm trying to correlate, and this is where it gets tricky. Intel dropped. They cut guidance, the second guidance cut in a row, theoretically, if you think about it, but now it correlated with the SPY coming down, or I think it actually did lead the way. You could see the market popped, and the market was kind of coming down before, but really around the same time. But now this is where it gets weird because people were talking CNBC Iran. So this is the sanctions. This article came out about 53 minutes ago. That would put us at around 12:30. Yep, around literally right here. So that's where it was, and it keeps getting updated. But the fact was, it came out 2 hours before that. So other sites dropped this. This was just the first time it hit CNBC, and then it started to react. But this has a big deal, and I said it. Someone should clip that from the stream. I said watch out for Iran and the sanctions, and we've been discussing that in the videos. If you guys have been following along, that is important. But now this has another interesting, if you guys want to understand it, it's related to China when it comes to oil, and now they're sanctioning. This is Trump doing another new Iran sanction because it's metals. This isn't oil. Everybody knows about the oil. They're now sanctioning one of their largest economic factors. And even if you go, they explain it in this article, and I'll give you guys a little bit more depth. But even then, like right now, a lot of the political stuff, they just voted to hold the Attorney General Barr in contempt. So you have all that, the tax return stuff, this and that. But at the end of the day, the Iran sanctions that were placed today are related now to a different part of their economy, their non-oil economy, and this is their largest part, the metals. So that's a new action and could create new tensions and makes things worse. But this adds to what's going on, and now the waivers that we're waiting for, which could affect China and those other countries on oil. But now this is aluminum, steel, basic materials, and metals. That's also China. It also has an effect, and this has something to talk about. And now this is where I'm even saying how things are developing. You could even see it even from the news, how I'm going to say, they're saying that there's going to be a meeting, this and that. I was wrong, and this has been wrong. So it has been volatile, so I'm not giving it as much accuracy. But when the yuan goes up, when this thing weakens, it's kind of showing us that a deal isn't going to happen. If it strengthens, that's good. And again, you could take a look. That does correlate with there, but I'm saying on a day-to-day move, it can make fluctuations that could be inaccurate. But watch that. We saw rates drop, but the key, I think, today is going to be watching to see Iran and how that develops. And like I said on stream, you guys should look into it and look how it's going to impact oil and what this means. I think this is something people overlook. It can have an effect, but obviously for the next few days, there is going to be Trump. But that's why it's interesting, because if that Iran stuff did affect the market, it is showing even with Intel now too. This is what I'm trying to say. If something big happened, because it's either the market's very sensitive and vulnerable, or by responding to specifically what it did. It responded to trade news big like it should have, but for it to come down when Intel lowers guidance, but now also at the same time is this new level of sanctions, this could be implying that the market is literally being sensitive now to these global political issues, which we've been talking about. And if those come into the mix, like I've been saying, that is going to exacerbate a lot of the problems we've seen, and it's not going to be good. So that's what we're going to keep our eyes out for. That's what everything that happened today. Again, there's a lot of stuff in between with the earnings, the stamps, the Disney. Watch out for that, but we're going to cover it tonight in the watch list. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the stream in the morning. Let's go.